Okay.
There you go.
Great. All right. And I might keep moving on then. Okay. Oops. If I can. There we go. All right. So going back to the background about where we are and how we got to where we are now. For those of you who aren't aware, Be Connected actually started, or the website itself started back in 2017, October in 2017, and the program was announced a year before that in 2016. When we launched the website, we launched with just 5 topics. Those 5 topics had a number of other courses beneath them as well. Some of that content was actually from Good Things Foundation. It was licensed by them to us. But basically, what you see on the right-hand side is what the website looked like when we kicked off. The information architecture, or the way we expected people to move through it at that point, was based on a beginner to advanced kind of sequence. So people would start the absolute basics of what is a computer, what is a mouse, what is a phone or a smartphone, and then they'd go through to some more of the more we advanced there, but they're pretty intermediate kind of things like connecting to others, doing video calls, and everything that we put in there, because it's from the Safety Commissioner, has a strong focus on online safety and making sure that people have confidence to do these tasks safely online. So with only 5 topics, it was very easy to find content. As you can see, it all fits almost on one page. So everything was great back then. Search was okay, and by okay, it means it kind of worked. But I think it was, if anyone was using the site back in the day or for the last couple of years, you'll find that we probably didn't get really good results for putting searches in for topics and content that you want to see. Since then, the website has grown a lot. We've put a lot of effort and resources into building out the content that's on there. What you can see on the right-hand side there is our current content map. You're not expected to be able to read it at the moment. It's just for us internally to be able to look at everything that's on the website. But as you can see, we've gone from about 5 topics to 35 topics now. And each of those 35 topics usually has around 4 to 8 courses beneath them. So there's around 217 courses on the website, and about 600 or so learning activities in there as well. So that's a lot of new content that's gone to the website since we launched it. We've also added new types of content that complement the courses that are in there as well. So we've added articles and tips. The articles and tips were launched a couple of years back, and the purpose of those was to be able to have content that didn't necessarily suit an entire course, but something that we could react to things that were happening out locally quite fast. So for example, if you look in the articles and tips that are on the website now, we had articles that were available when we had lots of bushfires in Australia that demonstrated how to locate bushfires and make sure you could monitor them safely. We also had stuff during COVID times around how to use QR codes, how to show your digital certificate, and even things around, even now, being able to use digital prescriptions as well. We've also introduced podcasts. Podcasts are another way that we can put learning out, which is an easy to digest format that you can listen to while you're doing other things, or that kind of talk about topics that, again, don't necessarily require an entire course, but are topics of interest that people have told us that they want to know information about. And of course, we've been producing games and practice areas which cover things like how to do banking safely online. We have a banking practice area, so you don't have to go and do a transaction online in your bank account first. You can practice that in the banking practice area. And we have games that are there to help people build dexterity when they're using touch devices and mouses as well. Noting that I'm pretty sure everyone on this call is fairly competent with using digital devices, but of course, the people we work with often find those things quite challenging. So the resources that we have on there cover a range of things. Stuff for absolute beginners who may not even know how to turn on a device or use a touchscreen device if they've been gifted one for the first time. We have stuff there for intermediate learners, people who want to do more things online and interact with online services. And then we also have lifestyle things that we think are really important as well, and which everyone's told us is really important. And that's how to do things like using social networks, how to be able to take photos, possibly lightly manipulate those photos and send those photos and work with them. Things that we expect to be able to do in day-to-day life with digital devices. And of course, as we said, the online services as well. So preparing people for using things like online banking and government services as well. Over the entire process of the building of the website and the managing of the website since 2017, evaluation has been a big part of what we do. And we make sure that every year that we have a number of ways that we can interface or engage with you, the network partners, and also with learners as well. And that's through surveys that go out. As you can see there from the top photo, we've had a number of digital or Zoom calls where we've talked and sought feedback from you as well. And we've had a number of in-person ones where we can and when we can, so around our local areas and mostly before COVID was a thing, where we went out and talked to a lot of people as well and got first-hand experience of how network partners are working with learners in their area. Of course, we always consult with Good Things Foundation as well. We take the feedback that they give us from an organization point of view, and also the feedback they filter through from you to us as well. And yeah, as I put down there lastly, consultation with you, the network partners. All right, so what you told us. So the feedback that we've gotten, generally speaking, is that everyone is pretty happy with the resources. And to kind of validate that a little bit further, we put a survey out, I think it was 1.5 years ago now, where we asked you to tell us if you would recommend Be Connected and you thought it was a good website. So basically a net promoter score, and we got a score of 65 out of that. 65 is actually a really high net promoter score. Usually anything over 30 is considered good. So to be up in the 60 area from network partners is really, really good. We also have feedback that we gather from courses as well. If you're logged in, registered and logged in, and you finish a course, there's an option there to provide feedback there as well. So a lot of our learners, probably more so than network partners, complete that, and we get really high scores and ratings out of that as well. So generally speaking, everyone's getting what they need out of the website, and it's a valuable resource. But there's things that we can fix. And some of the things have been there for a long time that we've known about, and some of the things you've told us about on quite a few occasions, as well as the learners who aren't associated with a network partner or maybe haven't been to a network partner, have come to the website on their own, have also given us a lot of feedback on some particular things as well. So I've highlighted just 4 of the main ones, which have really kind of shaped the upgrade that we're doing this week as well. So the first one is that it can be hard to find content. Like I said, we start off with just five topics on the website, and now there's over 35 of them and about 217 different courses. And even just the way that they were organized on the website, when we initially launched, they were organized in that absolute beginner to advanced sequence. But we found that as we were releasing more topics, they would end up at the bottom of the list down there, and people wouldn't know they were there. And we would get feedback saying, hey, there's no new content. We don't have things to teach our learners, or we want certain types of courses. When can we get these courses? And some of those courses might have actually been there, but were hard to find. It's also not been obvious as that content has grown that there's multiple pages in the topic library. And so clicking from the first screen there to other screens might not have been so obvious. As I mentioned previously, the search results haven't been very good. Probably not so much of a problem at the start, but from about midway onwards, as we've got a lot of content in there, that's become quite a problem. And certain types of content, like the articles and tips, aren't easy to find. And for a while there, before we did our navigation update November last year, some people didn't even know they were there. So there's some of the main pieces of feedback that we've been wanting to act on for quite a while now. So in terms of what's changing, around about this time last year, we did a fairly significant upgrade to the homepage, which looks almost exactly like what we see here. This is what the homepage will look like when we roll it out again at the end of the week. So basically, all we're really doing is taking what you're probably familiar with from the Be Connected homepage now, and starting to extend that to the pages a little bit further down. And there are some slight tweaks to this page. Like I said, we've just changed a little bit of the colors around the navigation up the top there. And some of the icon styles are going to change a little bit as we go into the new topic library. So hopefully it's not a too dramatic of a change in terms of what it looks like and how you would normally navigate the main parts of the website. But where one of the biggest changes is going to be in our topic library or our content catalog, as we call it. This page is going to get a lot of updates. Mainly, again, there's going to be a significant design update and also user experience update in the way that we label things, so you can see what's on the web page, and in the way that the courses are now going to be ordered on the website as well. We're going to be displaying more content types in the course catalog here. So currently on the website, when you arrive there, you would see just topics. But sometimes those topics have courses underneath them that you might not know are there, or might not be obvious that they're there and that you can access them. So we're going to be bringing those into the topic library now as well. Also, as we mentioned before, articles and tips and podcasts might not have been so obvious that they were there before. So we're bringing those into the topic library as well. Now, we said before that the content has grown a lot, and there's quite a lot in there. And now we're putting more stuff into it. So we want to make it easier for you to filter it and to be able to find stuff that's relevant to you as well. So obviously the big thing that we've done here to work with that is add new filters in there. And there's a couple of different as well. I might just request if you're not speaking to mute your mic. Got a little bit of background noise, but that's okay. The filters that we've got here that you'll be able to use will be to be able to filter the content library by subject. So things like Apple content or Android content, things relating to using the internet or maybe Wi-Fi and data, those types of subjects. You'll be able to filter it by device type. Again, you don't have to use a device filter, but if you want something specifically for a mobile phone or for a tablet, you'll be able to filter by those devices as well. And then by content type. So either by a topic or by a course, which again is the number of courses that make up a topic, by articles or tips, or even by podcast episodes as well. And then the last filter is a level, or I suppose a complexity filter. We'll have beginner and intermediate. It says advanced here on this design mockup, but we won't be having any advanced. Well, we don't think the advanced tag is probably appropriate for the content that we have here, but certainly everything fits in the beginner and intermediate categories as well. We're also updating the pagination, or the way that you click through multiple courses or topics as well. And that will just be a show more button at the bottom, which will just load some more in the page for you if you haven't already found what you're looking for. We're also making a big change to search. Finally, we've got the technology on our LMS to be able to do this for you now. As I said before, often search results wouldn't return very relevant results, in some cases not anything at all. Whereas now, typing in a search term should return really good results for you every time. What we're looking at here is again just a mock-up. So it doesn't have the actual final icons in it. That's why it looks a little bit different to the final page. But it's actually coming from the working version of the test site that I took a screen grab from just the other day, just to show the relevance that we're getting from those search terms now. So we're really happy that search is going to be much better from here on. I should also note, as I wrote there as well, search will also now not just return topics and courses, but also articles and tips or podcast episodes that are related to your search term as well. As we go down from that page into a topic, again, we're going to be doing a significant design and UX update to the topic pages, and that is to bring that design theme down to into these pages, but also, again, tighten up the labeling and the information that's on the pages, so it's much clearer where you are on the website, including things like showing the topic labels and showing the courses courses being part of the topics as well. If you're logged in to the LMS with your account, you'll also be able to see your completion status for any course that you've started as well. So you'll know if you've got if you're partway through a particular course. And the treatment here that we've added to the courses and topics, again, just some subtleties with the colors and stuff like that will really tie things back into the topic library as well to make it clearer where you are in the website. This is a bit of a preview. I don't think we got around to showing this to Good Things Foundation a couple of weeks ago when we previewed the site to them. This particular page won't be rolling out this week when we do the rest of the updates. This is something that will come in a couple of weeks' time as we just do a few extra builds to make this one happen. But this is what a course page will look like once we do the updates as well. So in this particular case, again, everything gets a design and UX update in there. And again, the purpose of that is to make it clear where you are on the website, to show that you're in a course and that there's activities underneath the course. There'll also be quick links at the top of the page as well. So if we have a number of sections on the page, you'll be able to quickly jump down to other sections. For example, for those of you who use the summary sheets or like to print out the summary sheets, there'll be a link here to the summary sheets a little bit further down the page. If we have a video here, you'll be able to skip past the video and just go to the content and so on. We're also including a navigation bar up here that shows the course that you're on inside of the topic, and also the other courses that make up that topic as well. So it'll be much clearer where you are on the website, and also show you other courses within that topic that you'll be able to skip to or jump to if you want to go to a different part of the website as well. And then we also will be having the recommended content section here as well, where if there's other content that we think is relevant to what you're looking at, we'll be able to provide that there for you as well, to be able to click through that as well. And all these updates, they'll obviously make, I think, life a lot easier for network partners, but also for learners who want to come and use a website in their own time or at their own pace, and people who maybe do a search in Google for Be Connected courses, and there's quite a lot of searches where people might land down on this page. It'll just be much clearer where they are on the website and much easier for them to navigate around the website than what has been in the past. And again, that just goes to a lot of the feedback that we've heard from you and that we've tried to really kind of cover and build here. And all while doing that, we've all tried to really simplify the design again, keep it very nice and clean and simple to use, hopefully not too much information in there, and very easy to navigate around for both people who are familiar and comfortable with the website, but also for new learners as well, or people who are maybe not so familiar with navigating websites. All right, so what happens next, or where to from here? Well, you may have been notified either by Good Things Foundation, or if you've been to the website, you probably would have seen we've got a little bit of a notification up there saying that the website will be offline on October 12th, on Thursday. That's when we will be doing the bulk of those changes, all except for that last screen that I showed you. So the website will be offline for an entire day, pretty much while we do that. And then, as we say, fingers crossed, on Friday, October 13th, Halloween as it turns out, the website will be back online and ready to go. So as I said, there'll be some further incremental updates due out in the following weeks as well, where we'll be making those changes to some of those other pages. So from here, we just hope that you use the site, you check out the updates, and that you let us know what you think. On that point as well, we'll be re-engaging with Good Things Foundation to touch base with you with in whichever way is probably the most suitable to do that, whether or not it's another survey that we put out to you, or whether or not we have a couple of video sessions so we can get direct feedback. We'll see if we can find some ways to get feedback about how the changes have been, how the changes are going for you, and if there's further things that we can do to make things even easier as well. So that's a bit of an overview about the website and where things are going this week. I might just ask Tash or Danny, if there's any questions that I can answer.
Yes, Austin, there is one. We have one from Hyber.
Yep.
And she asks, is there any in language material? So I'm thinking, you know, has it been translated into other languages?
Yep, good question. So all of our content at the moment, all of our courses, we create summary sheets for those. And those summary sheets for those courses are translated into 8 languages other than English. And so they are all available on the website, even right now. If you go to the bottom of a course page, you'll see a block there of, sorry, I won't pull up right now, but you'll see a block of the summary sheets that are there at the moment. And they're available in an accessible HTML format. And there's also instructions there on how to print those as well, so you can print them and take them away with you. We don't obviously cover every language that is available. It's quite a complex thing to do that, and to also pick the right languages to have in there. We've been working with Good Things Foundation and also other government agencies on what are the best, what are the most used and required languages to put in there as well. We're always happy to take feedback though on if there's other languages that you want that aren't there. And we're looking for ways that we can improve language support over the next 12 months as well. Actually, it's on our list to do. And anything else I can respond to in there?
Yes, we've got another question over here. Sorry, just dash over here. And it says, in the past, we have had new learners unable to locate us. So this is U3A Maryland on the map of Australia when people are searching for us. Has this been improved?
Well, that's look, that's a good question, and that's something that we're working with Good Things Foundation on as well. Just for your reference, that map that is on the website, on the Be Connected website, where you can search for a network partner, all that information comes from the Good Things Foundation. In fact, we're fairly hands off on it. We just put that there so that you can find it. And I know Good Things Foundation have been doing a lot of work on updating the database on that as well. And so we're working with them to see if we can get that as tight as possible. We're aware of some of the issues with finding network partners as well. But if you have specific points like that or feedback like that about your particular network partner organization, please get in touch with Good Things Foundation, and then again we can work on your specific case and making sure that that's displayed better.
All right, we've got another one coming up. With the course list down in the footer, will this still be available? And will you put the 2 Android courses together and the 2 iPhone courses together?
All right, so the course list will remain down there in the footer, absolutely, yes. I can't comment off the top of my head about whether or not those 2 Android and I think it was Android and iPhone courses, you said whether or not that will be put together as well. But if I can just click back through to the topic library search, again, there'll be far better support for finding those courses all in one place now with the updated topic library. For example, if you wanted Apple and Android courses for a smartphone or a tablet, you could quite easily choose Apple and Android, and at the same time choose either mobile phone or tablet. And that will show you all the courses for those devices for both OSs all in one place as well. So yeah, the course list will always will remain there. Hopefully some of these changes we're making here will make that a little bit easier for you as well.
And I've got another one coming up. I don't know if you can actually see the chat as well.
I can't at the moment. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So there is a little bit of concern from several network partners, since this is so close before Get Online Week, and several of them are presenting the site at their events as well. And yeah, so there's a little bit of concern about that.
Thank you for that, and for your concern as well. Look, that's a point that we haven't necessarily, I suppose, discussed with Good Things Foundation about how that would be rolled out. We were hoping on the flip side, this would be a good opportunity while we get everyone coming to Get Online Week, though, to be able to announce some changes and announce some updates to the website as well. Again, although the topic library has changed quite a lot, we think it will be easier to be able to do what you need to do. So when you're demonstrating stuff to people in Get Online Week, hopefully that will be easier. Some of the old tools that you still use, for example, the course lists, like we mentioned before, are still going to be there. So you will still be able to get around hopefully quite easily. But look, that is a good point, and we do take that on board, that it is quite close to Get Online Week. And perhaps next time we do a release, we'll do further consideration around that. And good luck for everyone on Get Online Week as well. I hope you guys all have great events for that week. We'll certainly be joining one or two ourselves.
Oh, good. Awesome. That is good to hear, Austin. So Austin will be visiting a few of the network partners. That is absolutely fantastic to hear. Yeah, no, fabulous. Yes, there's quite a lot of Get Online Week events. So I think the last numbers were funded ones over 600, and there were actually over 300 or 400 people that were running the event unfunded. So that was quite yeah, that's quite the numbers, I must say. So awesome. Now, I do have another question coming up over here as well, and asking, will the newly updated site have a change of color scheme, or is it going to be a black background or same color scheme?
Basically, what we're looking at here on the screen is what the website will look like between this page and I suppose this is the homepage. So again, if you're familiar with what the homepage on the website looks like, that design theme is basically being carried out through the rest of the website. Probably the biggest change, apart from the design of the topic library itself, is just the icons and everything are all being updated again, just to make them a little bit simpler, to avoid too much noise on the page and too many conflicting colors and stuff like that. We've really tried to simplify that. But basically what we're looking at here is what the design theme is going to be based on. And if I can just go over some of the main parts of it. Obviously, accessibility is a primary concern for us, so that people with disabilities or vision impairments can use a website. So everything is high contrast. That's something I was going to mention as well. Also, the what we call the design scaffolding. So what things are presented as links and key action buttons. For example, key action buttons like this subscribe now button and the login button. A lot of work is gone into making sure that everything has the proper design feel to it, and the proper design, I suppose, language, as our designer would say, put into everything. But what you're looking at here is pretty much what the design is going to look like.
Yeah, I just got an addition to that question, and it was for accessibility purposes. So whether people needed to change to a suitable contrast, but I think you might have already answered that. Is that right, Austin?
Yeah, that's right. And look, we so out of the box, or I should say at launch time, we've put a lot of work into making sure it is accessible. Of course, we're not going to stop there as well. Both the eSafety websites and our Be Connected website go through fairly regular accessibility audits as well. And they're either with Vision Australia, or we have another agency over in Western Australia, a very good one, that does them as well. And so we will be putting this through at some point, another accessibility review along with the eSafety website as well, just to make sure everything's in order. And we also have software that runs in the background as well, that calls out any problems, particularly around the contrast stuff, which is something that is software is able to do these days, is to let us know if contrast is incorrect anywhere. But we should be pretty good to go for the most part. I don't imagine there'll be any major accessibility issues when we go live on Friday.
Fabulous. Good news. And there's still more questions, Austin. So
Cool.
Are there any plans to update the online safety presentations page?
Yes, the online safety presentations page will get a little bit of a facelift as well. It will follow a similar format to one of these pages, where there will be obviously a bit of an introduction to the webinar space, and then those webinar topics will be listed there as well. I don't have a date on when that's going live as of yet, but that is in the works as well. As well as just we're going through that whole process of how you register for a webinar, and making sure that we can tighten that up as much as possible as well. And the types of information that you receive before a webinar and afterwards as well are all being considered.
All right. And another question is, how does this look like on a smartphone?
Well, I didn't actually put together any of the smartphone designs for us today, but just like our current website, this website will scale accordingly to the device that it's on, and so it is built to display on a mobile device as well. Some of the main kind of ways that we do that is just a lot of these boxes will just reorganize themselves from being maybe in a 4-column thing into a single column, and of course the menu, which is quite long, will collapse, as we call it, into a it's called a hamburger menu. It's just the 3 lines that you see at the top of most websites, where you click on the 3 lines and the menu opens up. Pretty much the same way it works at the moment. That's how the menu will work on the new website as well. So absolutely, it has been designed for mobile as well. But for the purpose of today, I've only brought the desktop versions for us.
That's all right. We're still quite happy with seeing what is changing. So thanks for that, Dawson. We're not done yet. We still got more questions coming up. So okay. I hope you've got your coffee there.
Yeah, I do.
So, all right. I've got a question over here. U3A South Australia have been approved for a Get Online week on Friday the 13th. Will the updates be ready to go ahead at 9 a.m.?
At this point, unless something catastrophic happens, absolutely, it will be ready. We basically said that all Thursday will be offline. There is a very small possibility by like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, everything will be online on Thursday. But at this stage, unless there is a critical problem, which of course we don't foresee or plan for, sorry, not we don't plan for, we don't foresee happening. Unless there's a critical problem, absolutely, we'll be ready to go Friday morning at 9 a.m.
Cool. I think that actually is very good news to hear.
Great.
All right. So far, do we have any other questions coming up? I think that was the last question at the moment. I can't see anything else coming up. Do you have anything else coming up there, Danny?
No, nothing directly. It seems to be fine.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, again, if you have questions that you didn't ask today that you'd like to ask at some point as well, please feel free to send them through to Good Things Foundation. Like we said, you don't necessarily have to wait for us to come and contact you for feedback either. As the site goes live and you get a chance to use it at the end of the month and over November and December as well, please feel free to send back feedback to Good Things Foundation or ask Good Things Foundation how you can get in touch with us for providing feedback, and we'd be happy to arrange that for you as well. And I might just hand the screen back to you guys now.
Thank you so much for that, Dustin. We're all clapping for you.
Oh, great.
Since
Thank you.
Most of us are on mute. You're probably not hearing that. So yes, no, awesome. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. So is there anyone else that still has got questions for Austin or Yara?
Actually, there is a question there from Trevor. He said there seems to be some confusion between Good Things Foundation and the Office of E-Safety Commissioner. So, Austin, do you want to sort of talk about how our roles merge there, or how we support each other?
Yeah, certainly. So for those of you who aren't familiar with how the program is actually put together, DSS, the Department of Social Services, is actually the lead agency and has been funded by the Australian federal government to produce it's actually called the Digital Literacy for DLOA. I can't remember what the acronym is.
For older adults, digital literacy
for older Australians. Thank you.
Oh, that's Australians. There you go.
Yeah. So DSS is actually the lead agency, and DSS has worked with both eSafety and Good Things Foundation to deliver the program. So Good Things Foundation's role on the program has been to go and find great organizations like yourselves and to bring you on board to help deliver the program, and to help support you and to do the extra promotional things like Get Online Week. And then from our end, from eSafety's end, our remit is to basically build the resources for mainly for learners, but also for network partners. So we build content that we know older Australians need access to in order to help them get online. And so that's our remit, is to produce those resources, make sure they're up to date, which is considering we're working with technology, is an ongoing task, and to make sure everything's easy to use as well. Good Things Foundation and eSafety Commissioner, we catch up on a regular basis, at minimum quarterly, at a larger working group, just to make sure everything's working great, to provide updates. And then in smaller groups with our day-to-day business as well, we catch up on key issues that we need to work on. I hope that answers your question, Trevor. I'm happy to provide further info if you need it. Yep, all good.
All right, yeah, no, we've got another question as well, but I don't think we've got the answer to that yet, Julie. So Julie is asking, is this the time and place to ask where Good Things Foundations are in regards to more funding moving forward? We do not have an answer to that yet. We are hoping to get an answer next month. So keep your fingers crossed and keep shouting it out, and, you know, sharing it with everyone you know, because, well, we kind of need it. just a little bit.
Remember, you can always write a letter to your local constituent to tell them about the program and let them know that you need it to keep running, and also to the minister as well.
And on that note, Get Online Week is the perfect opportunity to invite your local minister to your event, so they can actually see firsthand the fabulous program that Be Connected program actually is, and all the work that you guys are investing in this space. So, and it's a great place, you know, just to highlight the work that you're doing yourselves and the organisations that you work for.
There is about 1,000 events happening, so, you know, and this is funded and unfunded. So that's a lot of opportunities to get the word out there, to get the local member included. And as far as I know, I think the minister is visiting one of the events as well. Is that right, Danny? Or do we know? Or
I'm not 100% sure if that's been confirmed yet.
Okay, yes. So as you guys probably have heard as well along the grapevine, well, actually, you know, our newsletters, the minister has been quite involved. She's already been to a few events of Be Connected and of our events. So that is a really good sign, of course, that she is getting so involved. But, you know, we're not going to jinx ourselves. We're just going to keep on working towards it. Yes, and indeed, Trish, we keep on fingers crossed. It's only another month and a bit to go. Okay, so there is also a question about Get Online activity cards. We might have to come back to that because that's more of a Get Online Week question. The other question over here is, I'm not really sure if that is related to Be Connected or not. Has the Google Earth app been upgraded?
I'm not sure if that question is about our content or about the app itself. If it's about the app, I'm not aware of any specific upgrades at the moment. Yeah.
Awesome. Are there any other questions from you guys whilst we were at it? That is Be Connected related. We will actually take a look at the Get Online Week questions a little bit. Okay. So the question with Google Earth was the activity didn't match the app.
Okay. Well, Jackie, thanks for that. We'll definitely take that on board, and we'll talk to the content guys and have a look at it and do a bit of an audit. Like I said, content changes quite frequently, quite regularly. And so we do have to do a bit of work on staying on top of that. So we'll have a look at that.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. All right. If there is no other questions for Austin, sorry, and for Yara, then I would like to thank you, the two of you, very much for having been a guest speaker here today.
Thanks very much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, there you go. Everyone is giving you a round of applause. Okay, virtually then, but awesome. Thank you so much. Now, the next thing that we are going to be doing, I'll start sharing my screen again and see what is going to come up. Do you guys have got the share screen now?
Yep, all good.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So this, of course, is going to lead us in a question of how are we going to implement that for our learners? What is this going to mean for our learners and you as digital mentors or lead digital mentors? What is this going to do for you guys? So I'll be encouraging everyone to come off mute. I would like to keep it as a discussion. So I would love to hear your input and what you think this is going to, how this is going to impact you guys in your daily delivery for your learners and as digital mentors. So come off mute. Don't be shy.
It's hard to know until we've actually got the website up and running and we can actually access it. But every new person I recruit or speak to, the first thing we do is introduce them to the website and get them to register on the site, because I just believe in it so much that that's part of my setup. We get them signed the sign-in form, show them the website, so we go spend half an hour with them, and then we answer their queries.
Yeah. So do you think that that is going to change then for you if you're going to do that introduction again?
I'll still do the introduction and hopefully it will be a lot easier to follow, because I'm always going to the bottom to the course list, and I tell them the easiest way to find what you're looking for is go to the course list at the bottom and search through down there. It's a quicker and easier way to do it. But if you've improved that search, then I'm hoping that that's going to make it a lot easier then. Instead of me having to go all the way to the bottom of the course list, I can just tap into your browse, because I've always taught people when they're browsing the topic, use one word, because the search is not that good. So hopefully these will be improved and I can change the way in which I do present the website.
And Julie, just to add to that, so you will be able to add more than just one term. You'll be able to add a phrase like, how do I bank online, or whatever it is. So hope that works for you.
The advantage of all of that, though, and having the options where you can click here to have mobile, tablet, or other device is really useful, because that's how you shop online. So it will actually prepare them to use other websites the way that they've been built.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So looking at what you've shown us, I can't wait to get in there and have a look at it on Friday and see how it's going. I'll be straight in there.
Oh, that's great feedback. Thanks for that, Julie. And look, to your point as well, Tricia, if I'm pronouncing that correct, we try and find the right balance there as well of not making everything too complicated, but as you say, making sure that they're ready for an online experience anyway, so that they can practice using on our website and they're going to get the same experience elsewhere as well.
I also have to congratulate you, Austin, on using the term for the hamburger menu.
Oh, great. Thank you.
One of our favourites.
Great.
You actually spent a lot of time explaining the hamburger one, don't you?
Yep. And the kebab.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the kebab. Yes. I remember. Oh, there was something else. Can you explain that again? The kebab. Then Austin also knows what we are talking about.
You know, on a search bar in, say, Google, and you go all the way to the end of the search bar, you've got the 3 dots that are vertical.
All right. Yeah.
That's the kebab menu. Most people miss it. Yeah.
Okay, great, got it. I can see Yara taking notes for that right
I
now.
know, like, new term.
Somebody was really, really hungry when they made those options.
Exactly.
And I remember as well, there was something about a candy something rather. I can't exactly remember it, but maybe you do.
I've actually got a picture of all of them. You can Google it, and you'll actually find there is a picture with all of the arrows and all of the images and what their names are. They're all food.
There you go. Alicia's just written the waffle, the 9.
Yes,
dots.
no, exactly. I forgot about the waffle. Okay, so Austin, you might probably not know about this, but we actually a little while ago, what was that again? Was that in June or May? We had a community of practice. That was all about explaining terms and jargon, and you know, how it is a little bit difficult sometimes for learners to get through this jargon. And anyway, so cut a long story short, there was a whole list of you know, terms like kebab, candy, waffle, hamburger, also termed as bento. Okay, I didn't know that one. But
Thank you for the link, Andrew. Just have a laugh at it right now.
So yeah, so there you go. That gives you a little bit of background information as well, because you might be thinking, what on earth are we going on about? But that is the whole history behind it. It's a former community of practice where we were talking about this.
I think for me, in terms of how to implement these changes, for me it would seem really logical to have more, because adult learning principles are repetition based. So for me, I'd be having more frequent programs to orientate people, not just a once-off, because I think that will be beneficial for our members at least, and we have 300 members.
Look, that's an interesting point, Helen, and I think we had initially planned to, when this goes live, to have basically video walkthroughs ready to go for this as well. Unfortunately, we were unable to get those just due to timing and some other budgetary stuff as well. But you're right, having something there that people can refer to or to be able to reinforce that on an ongoing basis is a great idea too.
I think just to reiterate, so it's for this Friday, the only two things that will be different to what you said today is that browse content page, which is what Austin was showing, and just the new colouring. So they're the only things that we'll be launching this Friday. So it'll make things easier, and I suppose ahead of Get Online Week, it'll make things easier to find.
Yara, I think there's a delay in you talking. And
I didn't know whether it's me or because they are missing every second word, so it might be me. Sorry.
No, because I heard you talking and yet your mouth was not moving. So it was
there's a delay.
Like, what?
yeah, there's a delay.
That's all right. We still can hear you, so that is awesome. All right. So was there anything else that people wanted to share when it comes to how this is going to impact the way how you're going to implement this with learners? So Helen had a good one. What else? And I saw updated filters. So Lakshmi is very excited for updated filters. Yes. Seems more easy to locate particular topics. Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
I'm also wondering about the ease of access in terms of an app, as well as like launching through the website itself. Because I know we had, talking 4 years ago, we had a Get Started app, and we were encouraged not to use that for. There's some obvious reasons why we wouldn't use that, but is there an opportunity to have an app to make it easier for for members, or are you more encouraging the URL to continue to access the website?
Yeah, that's a great question, Helen. Thanks for that. Yeah, look, the Get Started app is still there. It does have a very niche use case, which is really just for friends or family of someone older to help them get online. And so we don't normally promote that as a way for most people to access the website. Look, that's not something that's in our roadmap at the moment. We certainly do have tickets and thoughts about ways that we could improve, make an app to improve the experience, including something that would help send out notifications when we make upgrades or put new content on there, so people know that there's new stuff they can learn about. But at this stage, mostly because we want to put more of the effort into the website itself, and for budgetary reasons and stuff like that, it's quite costly to make the apps. We've decided that, you know, from a government point of view, that's where the money's best spent, is on the website versus a bespoke app. Yeah.
Also, the size of the screen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask about the app, because does it still work at all? Because I get error message now, and I don't think it'll work on an Android. So I was actually introducing it to my mentors when I was showing them it was wonderful, but now I've found that there seems to be an error or something. So has it been just left go, or what's happening with it? Do anyone know?
It's just recently, in the last couple of weeks, been updated. We actually had a bit of a challenge with the, particularly on the Android platform, with the Google Store. The Google Store changed a whole bunch of their platform, I'll call them regulations, and we actually went through quite a cycle with them and their support service to get across the line. And that is because we're a government agency and we have additional kind of they have additional requirements on us to prove that we're a government agency and that the app is able to represent government. If you have a look now on the Android Play Store, on any device, on a smartphone or a tablet, you should be able to download it. If you don't, again, please send some feedback through and we'll have a look at it. And in fact, after the call, I'm actually going to check it out myself and just double check that's still the case.
Thank you.
Working.
Great, good.
I might have to uninstall and reinstall. I'm on an iPhone.
Give that a go.
Okay.
Yeah, on Android, it's definitely working. I haven't used it for a while, so yeah.
Excellent. Thanks.
Okay, anyone else who would like to share what this is going to mean for them? The impact on learning, for the learners, that is.
I think the whole website is an absolute benefit to anybody. Just recently, we've been working with a lot of not-for-profit organisations who are changing their committee members. And in one particular instance, in one group, they'd been handed a computer that had been literally updated and added to over the last 20 years, all of the data, so for all of their records, and it's a complete mess. And having those particular subjects available now on the Be Connected website is an absolute game changer for those people. So congratulations, everybody, and thank you. It's a big help.
Thanks, Tricia.
Thanks very much for that. And again, I'll just say thanks very much for your feedback, not just today, but over the last couple of years as well. Like we said, you know, we try and engage with you as often as we can to get feedback. And when you say something, we do listen and we do act on it. I know it's taken a couple of years to get the navigation changes in, which has hurt us as much as it's probably hurt you. But we're glad we can finally do that. And again, just thanks for the feedback along the way as well.
Yeah.
I've just been up through Queensland and introduced it to 20 librarians in the Queensland, far north Queensland, from Cooktown down Emerald, all through there, and they are just loving it. They knew of it, but nobody had been into the area, obviously. So I've kind of reactivated it and got them all going, and now I'm going to be doing follow-ups to make sure that they're running the sessions, showing them all the session plans in, but they are just wrapped. So you'll get a lot of activity coming from North Queensland.
Oh, fantastic.
It'll be great.
If you give us your route, we'd be happy to go up there to Queensland as well. and touch base with all the same locations. And
I'm actually winding down my business because my husband's got Parkinson's, so I'm kind of packed it in. But I have got all these leads that are just waiting to get on board. So I do want to actually talk to you guys and see if we can't do something, or I can't pass them off to you or something.
Oh, great.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear about your hubby.
Yeah, it's been good though, because we're now hitting the road and traveling around in a motorhome. That's keeping him motivated and active.
That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But I'm still going to teach grey nomads at the caravan parks. I'll just do it.
Absolutely, good on you, Julie. We weren't expecting anything else. Helen, you put your hand up?
Julie, you just mentioned the session plans. So you do use those
Oh yes,
quite a lot? Yeah.
Yeah. And I show them to the librarians and to all the ones that all my mentors. I always tell them your session plans, the session plans are already in here. You can just pick them up and run it and just tweak them to however you want. But yeah, I do use them. They're great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Fabulous. Thank you so much for all your contributions. Now, we actually had planned to go and take a look at a resource and how to how to amend that for the new changes. But I am looking at a time and I don't think we are going to have time for that anymore. I actually thought that this discussion was a lot more important than us looking at how to change one of the resources as well. So and Christelle just mentioned, just to note that when the session plans will need updates as well based on the new site changes. I know. Thanks, Christelle. So yes, lots and lots of work that needs to be done yet, and on our part as well, and lots of updates from our behalf as well. So we will all get there. So the other thing that I just quickly wanted to share with you, though, was a couple of updates. So Christelle, was a good thing that she just mentioned something, because our November Community of Practice facilitator is our own Christelle. So Christelle, can you show yourself and say a hello? Where are you, Christelle? Oh, there she is.
Sorry.
No, you're right. Just give us a wave because Christelle is going to be our facilitator next month. So in the November Community of Practice, and is going to tell us a lot about how successful the program has been with intergenerational. Oh my God, you say it, Christelle. You can do it much better than I can.
And intergenerational learning with youth and seniors.
Thank you so much. And yes, so we are very looking forward to your facilitation next month, Christelle. You will all get the news around it and the registration links and the invites, etc., etc., etc. So the communication is still coming. Now, so thank you very much for that, Christelle. And the other things that we have got is we pretty much for the rest of the year have done all our grants. So good on you guys. We have had huge numbers in the last few months for the grant applications. So well done. We do have a couple of things that we've been doing. So it's not, you know, that we're just sitting here around doing, you know, looking pretty. We actually do a lot of work. So I'll see if I can show you that as well. There you go. So I'll just make this a little bit bigger. So Get Online Week. There is a question about Get Online Week. We are going to answer that before we finish today. So remember Get Online Week, guys. Good luck. And some of us will be visiting you. I know.
Yay!
Yes, absolutely. So just that is indeed a couple of those things. And soon we will also be able to tell you a little bit more on Bridge Low Vision. So some of our partners over here that are present as well, they are also part of the Bridge Low Vision project. So we have developed a whole bunch of new resources that are only available to the network partners that are part of this pilot project, and they will probably be very happy to hear that the new website is going to be accessible as well. So Troy, you just made a few people very happy. And that is, I think, about what I have to tell you. Was there anything else? Do we have any other updates when it comes to new resources or updates, Danny?
No, just off the top of my head, it's mainly that we have released a whole heap of resources around accessibility, which you will be able to find on our website, but they've also been linked to the latest newsletter that have been released this week. So please take your time, have a look at those. They've got lots of links to further resources in those documents. So hopefully you'll be able to find them quite useful in your work in the coming months. As Tash said, we have been working with guide dogs to pilot a new program to extend our reach of the people that we are working with. So we're now working with people with low vision, and we are kicking off a new pilot program with Guide Dogs Australia around being able to reach those groups of people. And you may have seen a lot of communications around our Digital Sisters project as well, which is about supporting refugee and migrant women who have come to Australia to become digitally connected as well, so that they are able to become a little bit more self-sufficient and to maintain those social connectedness and to learn some new digital skills as well, which will help them to settle into Australian way of life. So stay tuned. There's lots of things happening here at Good Things Foundation, but I guess the main thing that I do want to say is have loads of fun next week with your Get Online Week activities. It's a fabulous time of year. We absolutely love it, and we do try and get out to as many events as we possibly can. And it's just a beautiful way to be able to showcase the work that you guys actually do. So have fun. I hope it all goes very well, but please do reach out to us if you do need any support whatsoever.
And
you
take
mentioned
photos.
just there. You mentioned there a minute ago you work with guide dogs. So guide dogs are now going to become digital literate, are they?
Well, they already are digitally literate, and they do have a whole range of accessibility resources.
No, I meant the guide dogs.
Oh no, not the wolves.
Yeah, no, our target audience has changed. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Sorry, no, they're known as guide dogs. Sorry about that, Julie.
I'm thinking guide dogs. Oh yes, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, our target audience, we've got high expectations of all our lead digital mentors and digital mentors. You will be able to do this. We trust you, and yes, we've got faith in you.
Well, let's make everyone smile for your group photo now.
Yes, that's right. So just make sure indeed you subscribe to the newsletter, but if you weren't already, then you wouldn't be here. So I thank you very much for that. And if I can actually ask all of you guys, I'm going to stop sharing first. I am going to take a photo. So that means those of you who do not want to be in the photo, turn off your camera, please. And you will have to allow me 2 or 3 shots, because I've actually got 2 pages over here of participants. Hang on, 3 pages. So I've got 3 pages of participants, so I need to take several shots, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to count down from 3, and then you all have to smile, and then I'll do it again and again. All right. 3, 2, 1. That is shot number 1. All right. 3, 2, 1. Say cheese again. Shot number 2. And then one more time. All right, shot number 3. Awesome, you all look beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Hey, when I go like this, my screen changes. Does everyone else see that? See that?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that?
Yeah, see that. That's so
Something
cool.
new. I don't know how, I put my thumbs up and look what happens. I didn't do it. It just Zoom's doing it. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know.
It's having a celebration.
I know. I did it before. I thought, what?
It might be the blue background you've got.
I just put blue background. So thumbs up and wing.
There it goes.
Awesome.
Now you've got snow. You've got snow happening there.
New party trick, Julie.
I don't know where it came from, but it works.
Oh dear.
No,
Okay, well, I
right.
think that brings us to the end of our session, Tash.
Yes, hang on. We still had a question about Get Online Week activity cards, or did you already answer that, Danny?
I answered that in the chat. Yes.
All right, fabulous. All right. Well, if then nobody else has got any questions or any contributions to make, good luck next week. For some of you, this Friday. And Austin and Yara, good luck Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And thank you so much for all being here today.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you
everyone.
so
Thank you.
much.